Sammie Szmodics is a Rover, that's right. Blackburn Rovers make their second signing in 24 hours, bringing in the creative midfielder to add a bit of bite, of course, for Rovers moving forward. But what can we expect from the midfield dynamo? We're going to take a little look next. That's right, folks, Babbles giving another video today. We're taking a look back, of course, last night, late last night. Blackburn Rovers brought in player number 2, of course, for 24 hours, third for the season now, as Rovers ramp up their transfer business, of course. I'm talking about Sammie Szmodics. I've been perfecting that all the way through the night, and he has signed, sealed, delivered. He is a Rovers player for the next 3-point question mark years. When I say 3-point question mark, it's 3-year deal plus a 4th add-on. You know what I mean? Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, people shout about VIPs. They are the patrons, and if you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button, bang it today. All things Rovers related, Championship related, World Cup related, because it's coming this bloody year. Make sure you stick around for that content. But anyway, let's jump in the deep end, of course, and have a look what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this fella, this handsome chap, this tattooed wonder. It is Sammie Szmodics, of course, coming at you from Peterborough. He is now a Blackburn Rovers player. So back him all the way, back into the hilt. Let's get some controversy, or what's the word, conspiracy out the way. Some people say he's taking over from Bradley Dack. He is Dack's replacement. That's what people are mumbling around on the forums and the Facebook books. I don't see it as that. I see it as another player in that role that could actually maybe suit more to the John Dale Thomason role. A little bit younger, perhaps, of Dack, and of course much more fit. I should say a little bit fitter. But anyway, I feel both of these two players can play in the same 11. I'm not sure that they will, but of course they can. And we can see in a minute the versatility of Sammie Szmodics. Of course, he is, of course, preferred in that little cubby hole. There we go then. Here is, of course, his value. It's not that great, to be honest with you. It's around at the moment, as of today, he's around about £500,000, of course, according to Transfer Markt. I don't know how to the money that is. I wasn't aware of Szmodic's contract. If it was a year left, maybe we stumped up some sort of deal. But we paid, of course, I believe that the fee is between £1 and £2.5 million. Now, I don't know if it's, I'm pretty sure it's not 2.5 straight up. I think it's more like 1 with a rising and add-ons and all that kind of stuff, promotion, blah, blah, blah. Then it would be more like 2.5. But this was his rating as of this morning, which hasn't been really updated to reflect perhaps the new contract. So that's Sammie Szmodic's value on the rise. Here he is, of course, in action for Peterborough, and this is where he can play, or he has played over the course of his 165 games. He can play as a striker, not very often. Shadow striker, perhaps, left side of the attacking trio up there, or the right, but of course preferred as an attacking midfielder. Also play across the middle there, left hand side of midfield, right hand side, and also as your box to box midfielder, which of course has also already been taken up by another new recruit, Tyler Morton. And as you see down the bottom of the chart here, where he has played these positions as a centre forward, he's got no bad ratio, a goal every 2 games and an assist. But the money shot right here is, of course, attacking midfield. 165 games, 50 goals and 28 assists. Ain't too shabby, boys. Look at left midfield though, 2 games, 2 goals and an assist. How about that then? But anyway, the versatility is there. He can play anywhere you like. So I am all about that. Here he is, of course, in his failed attempt of the last time around at the Championship when he wasn't at Peterborough. It was Bristol City, snapped him up a couple of years back. Didn't really work out. Just 4 games before his loan back to Peterborough as well. We played just shy of 100 games. A little bit unlucky that he couldn't get over the line there. Scored 27 goals in those 96 games, 14 assists as well. He also had a very productive spell at Colchester United down in League 2 and in League 1 respectively. So he is a player, and he knows where the back of the net is, and he is a bit of a creative genius. So here he is again in the pink. But we're going to compare him today. I was going to compare him with Bradley Dack, and I did want to blow that conspiracy up a little bit more, but I feel that is creating a bit of an animosity that shouldn't be there. I think Dack is a key part of the furniture here. He might not be John Dale Thompson's cup of tea at this moment. He might not suit the style, but just give Dack a bit of a break here. You know, he's been out for 2 years. But anyway, I'm comparing to last season's alternative attacker, and that is Raider Kadra, of course, who we were linked with in some vein earlier in the transfer window, but of course he has gone on to join Sheffield United. Hopefully he has a nightmare, and he hasn't really done himself any favours with his passing comments. of course, Kadra can play on the left and the right, and of course down the middle. And of course, represented in this graphic, it just shows Sammie Szmodics as pretty much down the middle kind of player, but he can play in all of those positions. We are getting an older player, and of course a bit of a smaller player to Reda Kadra. I didn't think that was possible, to be honest with you. I thought Reda Kadra was a bit of one of those hobbits from Hobbiton, but we have an even hobbiter, and that is Sammie Szmodics at 1.68 metres. Preferring the right foot for himself. Of course, signed on the dotted line on August the 1st. He will be 27 though on September the 24th, so he is a bit of a veteran, but we do need that sort of level of experience to compete with the likes of the young guns in this team. He does represent Northern Ireland. Sorry, take that back. He does represent the Republic of Ireland. Yet to get a game, but I think that's going to happen this coming season, and he might even have a few games towards the back end of the year. So for me, Sammie Szmodics is a good little player playing down the middle of the park. He'll add to the tempo that Jon Dahl Tomasson wants to do this campaign. And yes, it's going to take some of the other players who have been part of the furniture, part of the process for the past five seasons, a chance to. They need a little bit of extra time to get up to that speed and maybe adapt to the new style of play. But that's what we're all about right now, is adapting to the style of play. Here he is once again, and of course his value is actually a lot less, so at least two-thirds less than Kadra's at the moment, but I think that's going to increase dramatically. I think we may have paid a little bit of the money, 1 million to 2.5 million, and I think we'll get to that value. I think he's probably around about $1 million. And again, I've seen great glowing reports from Posh fans. I've seen glowing reports from third-party points of view that he will give 100% each and every game, and it is a player to suit the style of Jon Dahl Tomasson, which is high tempo, high pressing, and hopefully we will get the best out of him in a team full of creativity and buzz right now. Here he is, of course, with the shirt late last night. It was a late night signing. He is signed, sealed, delivered. This is his stats compared against Kadra. What are we looking at here then? What are we looking at? So, of course, he's played 265 games, scoring 67 goals, 31 assists. I'm trying to figure out what this is here on the right-hand side. Is that average goal per game? I don't think so. I don't know what that final couple of stats is, but regardless of stuff, he's got glowing numbers in that area. So a good opportunity for him to kick on when he comes back. Into the championship, of course, with Blackburn Rovers. Of course, that's a little bit of take about me and the stats and the numbers. What's been said on social media? Let's take a look then, shall we? Okay, let's take a look then. Over on Twitter, Stephen Mark Neal said, I'm over the moon. I'm really excited with this signing. Welcome. Sean Paul Casey said, Sammy will add more goals for our team. Great signing, who is ready to grow with a new exciting squad. Worth the wait. FBL Wolf said, welcome Sammie Szmodics. Hope Rovers bring you more Ranjis, but more importantly, success for you and the club. Meanwhile, Adam Tatsuki said, welcome to Rovers, Sammy. Buzzing to have you here. Aidan Martin said, welcome to the club, Sammie Szmodics. Looking forward to what you can bring, and we'll be all behind you. Matt Ashton said, welcome to Rovers, Sammy. John Dahl Jr., Hacking Jr., credit to the owner, so continues backing, and great signing. Barney said, our loss, your game. Go smash it, Sammy. All the best, and thank you for the last 2 years at Posh. So some Posh perspectives coming at you from the Twitter. CM Baker 100 said, good luck, Sammy. One step closer to your Premier League dream. You will always be one of ours here at Colchester United. Becky said, was not expecting this today. Meanwhile, Arte Labor said, I'm feeling supersonic. Give me Sammie Szmodics. And of course, that was well received on Twitter as well. And Early Design said, very happy Mondays. And it is a very happy Monday indeed. Meanwhile, what about my overseas mafia? Well, Jacob, of course, forever opinionated. Of course, we do appreciate his maybe not controversial, but spicy point of view. But anyway, here's his thoughts, of course, on the late night business by Blackburn Rovers.
So we've also gone and made another signing today. We've obviously got Sammy, whatever his last name is. I'm not even going to attempt it. I think with time, obviously, Rovers fans will come to learn the name. I hope, obviously, it being announced on the tannoy multiple times this season, each and every time he scores a goal. So I'm sure I'll learn it soon enough, hopefully. But yeah, it seems like we've got someone who is potentially a Dak replacement, or at least someone who is going to be challenging Dak for that first team spot. Seems like we've paid in and around the 2.5 million mark for him. A lot of that would be add-ons, I would have thought. But yeah, seems like a really good player from all accounts. I mean, Peterborough fans, Peterborough put a tweet out announcing that he'd left, and they were absolutely gutted, saying he was a legend of the club. I mean, I know obviously Peterborough can't have too many legends, no offence, but I mean that can't be sniffed at, I guess, to be honest. If he, these fans are saying he's an absolute legend of the club, he must be a quality player. I saw clips on Saturday after the game. They were there chanting for him to stay, and obviously he hasn't. But at the end of the day, this is a step up for him. He's come into a side that is, like he said in his interview, a reliable championship side, a side that he knows are not going to be fighting relegation this season, and a side that will hopefully be pushing for promotion, for playoffs rather. That's yet to be seen, but we got off to a good start on Saturday, so the sky's the limit, I guess. But I watched a clip on Twitter of all his goals last season. Didn't include the goal he scored against Blackburn, thankfully. I didn't want to see that goal again that he scored just after Diaz made it 1-0, and that game really was the nail in the coffin for our playoff push, unfortunately. But he seems very Dak-esque, it must be said. Seems like he's a bit of a poacher. He knows where to be in the box. One of his goals against Bristol City, the second one I believe, was a brilliant header. Something Dak can also do, but it was a really high quality header. He even take a shot from long range, something Dak isn't as good at, I would say. So, maybe he is someone who is going to be getting the nod over Dak. Obviously, Dak's not the player now that he used to be, I guess. It seems like from what I've seen of this guy, Sammie, that, he's got the Rothwell kind of skill with dribbling with the ball. Seems very second nature to him now. I watched some highlights that a Bristol Fan TV released from his time at Colchester, I'm going to say. Obviously, that was a few years ago now, but it seems like he can drive with the ball very well, get into the box, really cause defenders problems, and then also has an assist in him, as well as obviously shooting boots. 7 goals last season from a side that were probably the worst side in the league. It was between them and Barnsley, really, wasn't it? So obviously that can't be sniffed at, really. And in their promotion season, I think it was 15 or something like that from League One. So, Dak numbers really, I guess, aren't they? So, yeah, it seems like a good signing. Obviously, Dak's going to need someone. If he was to be starting games, Dak over Sammie, he's going to be needing someone to sub for him at the 60th, 70th minute, isn't he? He's not going to be able to play full 90s, I would have thought. But personally, I don't know with Dak where his future lies under this system. I don't think for 1 second we're going to be selling him this summer. But it said a lot on Saturday, the fact he didn't bring him on. I reckon more than a few Rovers fans probably would have been shocked. You've got a player like Dak on the bench and he doesn't even get a minute. Obviously we were 1-0 up, so it's not like we were chasing the game and needed a goal, but Dak's obviously, probably not got the legs for this high intensity football, I would have thought. Is he going to be able to play 60, 70 minutes where he's constantly chasing men down, piling on the pressure? It's yet to be seen, I guess. It'll be very interesting to see who gets the nod in the first team, Dak or Sammie. I'm going to lean towards Sammie personally. I feel like obviously he's a couple years younger than Dak. Obviously Dak's had his injury problems and JDT probably doesn't want to risk him potentially picking up more and obviously kind of chucking him in at the deep end, I guess. Obviously, he picked up that injury in pre-season, which isn't great. And realistically, Dak probably is going to get another injury this season at least. You would have thought. So it's good to have a player like this they're in the wings who can be called upon as and when we need him. And I do think, personally, I would be slotting in him for Swansea away this Saturday. I'd probably drop Vale. I think Vale didn't impress me too much, to be honest. He's had a brilliant pre-season, but he didn't impress me too much on Saturday. And, obviously, you can't go off one game and write him off by any means. But I feel like, obviously, it's a big ask for Vale to be coming into this team. And, it's a massive step up from youth football. And there's absolutely no problem with Vale being on the bench and bringing him on as and when we need him. And I think he'll be more than happy with that. To be coming on for a Gallagher or something like that, I'd be playing, obviously, Sammy at number 10, have Gallagher down the middle, with Ty on the right, because I think Ty impressed me a lot on Saturday. So I think he's done enough in my eyes to stake a claim to get back into the team for Swansea, and obviously Diaz on the left. So I think that's what we'll be seeing. And unfortunately, I do think it's going to be maybe a bit part role for Dak this year. Obviously, we've spent money on this guy at the end of the day, and an amount that can't be sniffed at. So we'll just have to see. Hopefully he's worth it. And, by all accounts he is. A Peterborough legend, apparently. So hopefully he can become a Rovers legend. Maybe get us into the playoff spots, get us promotion. I think we'd all love to see that.
But there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. For me, personally, on a numbers level, I'm happy that we have another number in there. Because if let's go back to the elephant in the room, which I kind of floated out there at the start. Is he Bradley Dack's replacement? I don't think so. But what is Bradley Dack? Bradley Dack is a creative genius, a goal-scoring machine. He is, of course, heart and soul right now of Blackburn Rovers, and he's kind of grown a Lancashire rose on his chest. He is part of the process, but what he also is a little bit injury-prone. Of course, past couple of seasons have been great, of course. And if we were to lose him, we would be losing a creative genius in midfield. Szmodics can do that as well. And again, he might be suited already, Szmodics, to come in and play the JDT way. Right from off the cuff, but we do need a competition for numbers. We do need Dak now going, you know what, shit, I've got to, if I want to stick around here, I've got to raise my game. Or other people that, of course, are in the squad, Buckley's, you guys moving forward, Diaz, of course, Gallagher, Vale, Dolan, they've all got to kind of raise their game a little bit. Whenever you see somebody new coming in that plays in your position, you kind of got to take a little bit of notice. Kaminsky's like this, he's like kicking back because he ain't got nothing knocking on his door. So it's good for that. We do need a bit more of that. Now, of course, we need to switch focus, of course, and look at our defensive numbers. And again, also in the back of our mind, thinking about the potential of the Diaz deal, whenever that's going to burst, and Rovers might be a little bit short moving forward. So that, my friends, is good. I'm happy about the business. Yes, I'm a little bit concerned about the money, but if it's planned out well and it's not going to really affect us and the transfer business for the rest of the season, then you know what, I'm content with that. So hopefully there are a couple of other names bubbling this week, and we might even have a more strengthened looking team to take on Swansea coming at you this coming weekend. And of course, extensive coverage right here on Blackburn Rovers Seas, the preview, the watch along. We've got build up as well from Alexander Haber. Of course, he chatted with a Swansea fan last night. That video will be on either Wednesday, Thursday, combined 11. We've got it all here, boys, under one rooski. So make sure you smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, smash the little bell, and I'll be back, of course, with an update next time around. But until then, we're done.